Right, now I've got the draw weight measurement problem sorted out and I know what we've actually got, I can proceed a bit more. It turns out we're now at 36 pounds at 27, so I've still got 6 pounds to come off, which is quite a lot. One problem is that the grip is there, the lower limb actually starts here, but I can't reduce this bit because it's underneath the leather. I don't really want to be taking off that leather grip. I may have to, I suppose, because it would be nice to flatten the belly there a bit more. In fact, I think I probably am going to have to take that off. I should be able to re-stitch it though. Yeah, it's probably the sensible thing to do. Anyway, I need to, the belly's slightly curved. If I just flatten it all the way up, we should get there. I think I've made my mind up. I've got to take that grip off. See if I can get this stitching off without ruining the leather. There we go, it's starting. If you're going to do a job, you might as well do it properly, I suppose. Hopefully I won't have to remake any of these holes, but I could possibly do it. The danger is if I ignore this area of the limb and just work here, I'll end up with a sort of discontinuity and a weak point. You've got to treat the whole thing, or the whole thing as a whole. There we are. It also shows the grip construction. Now I just apply a little bit of glue just there to locate it when I make it. I can leave that hanging on really. But now you can see how the limb actually starts there. So I can now get at that section. If only I hadn't put my rasp away. Because it was beginning to look that the upper limb was too weak, this was too stiff, and I'd be weakening it just in this little area here to get it to come round, which would have created this discontinuity there. Anyway. You've seen how much I've done there. Let's do a little bit more. It's about cause and effect. So I'll get that back on the tiller now and we'll see what difference that's made, if any. Right, taking that bit off, it effectively gained me about 1 inch of draw length. Or another way of looking at it, it reduced the draw weight by about £1.5 pounds or something. Put it on the tiller, had a quick look. That bit looks a bit stiff. I'm going to use my air shield ventilated head thingy now because it's kicking up quite a bit of U dust, which can irritate my lungs. You can see I'm doing it with the string on still, which is no real problem as long as I don't snag it. spent a few minutes talking to camera when the memory card was full and the camera wasn't even videoing. Where I've flattened the belly more here, you can see it's just starting to show the sapwood around the edges, which isn't a problem, it just gives it that nice sort of coffee and cream look. If it came to a point where I didn't want to take any more off like that and narrow the edges, what I could do is make the belly either dead flat or even slightly concave, but I don't think I need to go that far. I'm just sort of constantly looking for slightly thick points, like we look thick there, but then you look and you think, maybe I've left it thick there because of these features. Similarly on the tip there. So I don't want to go mad and overreact. Bits in there, maybe thick here. Take a whisker off there. We're not far off now. I'm probably about 34 pounds, so by the time I've cleaned it up we'll be there. I think it's probably ready for another go on the tiller and let you see. I've been taking a few shots with the bow as I've progressed. I've noticed it's just suddenly felt a lot easier to draw. A few pounds doesn't make much odds, but when you've taken sort of 6 off and you're getting closer to 10, it really is noticeable now. Now you probably won't be able to see that on the video, so I'll crouch down low and call out the draw weight. Do some exercise. Yeah, we're 33, which isn't far off now. Probably just tidying it up will get rid of at least 1 or 2 of those pounds, so we're very close it's now. 33 pounds now, and I'm starting on the finishing. I'm using the curved scraper on the belly just to give it that slight concave feel, sort of concave and then rounded over at the edges, just for the fun of it really. I could use a flat scraper, I just sort of use this one. Could probably do with sharpening it, trying to find an edge that's got a decent burr on it still. Just giving the scraper a quick sharpen. I filed the edge, well I gave it a quick touch on the belt sander, then I filed it flat, and then you rub it and sort of roll the edge down, and you can get fancy bits of hardened steel rod to do it, but I just use a big old screwdriver. And when you've done it you can really feel the burr. I don't suppose it will show up on camera. Let's just have a go. Let's see if it does a bit better. Yeah, you see I'm getting quite nice shavings now. It doesn't take long just to put a new burr on your scraper. It's easy to carry on, with a tool that's not performing properly out of laziness. Whereas a couple of minutes just doing what needs doing. You can hear the difference and see the difference. It's gone over it with the scraper, looking quite pretty. This gives you an idea of how much wood the scraper actually removes. So it's not a lot, but it is some wood. So next thing would be pop it back on the tiller again, give it another go. I'm still feeling for thick patches. Yeah, it does feel a bit thick there. So if I decide it needs a little bit more off, then it'll probably come off there. And upper limb looks very good actually. No, probably a little bit more there, but we'll see. Get it back on the tiller. Yeah, I think we're pretty much there now. That's scraping on the belly to take out the tool marks and tidy it up. Just taking off that last pound or so. And lead it off. There we are, 27 at, it said 30.8. Previous time it said 30.6. You know, you're into the realms of how accurate is your reading and parallax error and all the rest of it. It'll have a little bit more scraping and sanding, then I'll finish the grip off. But I'm not worried about being, as long as I'm below 31, that's close enough. It's not going to get any heavier. And there's a couple of slightly raised knots. I don't know if you can see where I've scraped. There's sort of flat. I'll just smooth that off a bit. Fortunately, there's enough. I think there's enough flexibility in the leather that I won't need to remake that lower section. I can always stick a tiny bit of leather there just to pad it out. Yeah, pretty much done. Tiny bit of sanding just to smooth it off. Then some Danish oil, bit of beeswax. Job's a good one.